right, Patty, we are going to talk about custody matters in legitimation cases. Is this something you deal with a lot?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about how these kinds of things generally go.
Okay. So when you have a custody dispute, when it's a legitimation, it's a little bit different, when you compare that to a divorce. And the reason is, and this is in Georgia, okay, and this varies from state to state, but in Georgia, the parties start off in a different posture than the parties would if they were divorcing parents. And the reason is that because in Georgia, until if the parties aren't married, the father has no legal relationship or legal rights to the child until he legitimates the child. Now, I'm not agreeing with that law. In fact, I think that that law is problematic, and that's not the same state to state.
And there are many states that differ greatly on that.
Absolutely. There's some states that, as long as the father is on the birth certificate, they have the same legal rights as the mother.
Yep.
But that's not the case in Georgia. So the parties start off in a different posture, and that becomes a threshold issue of whether or not the father should be legitimated. And that's ultimately, if the parties don't agree, that's ultimately the Superior Court judge's decision. And get this. The standard for that is best interest of the child. And think about that, okay? Mom gives birth to the child. Mom automatically has all the rights. Parenting time, legal rights, rights to make decision, just by virtue of giving birth. Nobody's standing at the hospital saying, well, let's see, is this in the best interest of your baby for you to have all these rights? But the father, if he's not married to the mother, that's the standard that we look at for the father. Well, is it in the best interest of this child for you to have those rights?
Well, which kind of goes back to, is that the proper way to view all of it? Because how many situations have we seen where maybe one parent was in a far better situation than the other parent?
Agreed. And I guess that's why at the end of the day, if the parties can't work it out between themselves, we rely on the Superior Court judges to make those kinds of decisions. It's an interesting subject, and thanks for joining us to talk about it.